Remember to thank the animator, the Whoand.
And remember to check out this beautiful guy, the co-host, the Red Archer's channel. He does games and other stuff. Remember to check him out. Now, let's get on to the episode. Vampires are some of the most iconic horror characters in fiction, ever since the time of creation when they were inspired by Vlad the Impaler. They have been in books, cartoons, and even anime. And sometimes in bad romantic drama. Looking at you, Twilight.
But they are most famous in one genre, Japanese video games.
Like Valvatorez, the ex-tyrant from Disgaea.
And Alucard, the son of Dracula from Castlevania.
I'm Demon.
And I'm the Red Archer.
And it's our job to analyze these characters to their fullest, to see what would happen when these two fictional characters collide.
Welcome to the Netherrealm. In this hell, we're introduced to demons, monsters, slimes, and humans turned into penguins? Okay. But in this world, it's all about being the strongest. The more strength you have, the more respect you have.
And few can stand up to the power of the ex-tyrant himself, the vampire known as Valvatorez.
Valvatorez is the main protagonist in Disgaea 4 and is a recurring character in the whole series. Once a lone and powerful tyrant feared by monsters and humans, he became part of a deep promise to a nun in the Renaissance era. After not taking his promise seriously and losing this human to the people she was helping, he vowed to always keep his promise. His promise to this human was if he drank her blood, he wouldn't drink anyone else's. He accepted it and vowed to watch her until he felt it was the right time. She soon died to treason, and Valvatorez vowed to never drink human blood again.
He soon went back to the Netherworld, throwing away his name as the tyrant and became a lone Phrygia instructor, with his bodyguard Fenric. But soon after a couple hundred years, he saw that the Netherworld is going downhill of all energy, which is a food to monsters, and decided to find out what was wrong. He soon chose to take over the government of the Netherworld, gaining support from the monsters and his allies soon taking it over. We can keep going, but we have more to talk about this guy.
Yep, and we mean a lot. Valvatorez has a few different forms in this game. The first is his half-powered form, which he uses during most of the game. In this form, he isn't as strong as he once was, mostly because he stopped drinking human blood, which is what powers vampires. After taking the promise he made, he only drinks the blood of sardines, which can't fully power him to his full strength. But just because he isn't at full power, doesn't mean he isn't still powerful.
Next he has is his tyrant form, or his full power, which is known to be one of the most powerful beings in the Disgaea world. In this form, he is more smarter, faster, stronger, and even more durable. He's also known to just bring fear to his enemies just by looking at them.
Next one he has is his Tyrant Flung Hood, but we'll talk about that later. Right now we must talk a little bit more about Valvatorez himself. In his half-powered form, he is stronger than most beings, able to dodge and tank attacks from entities such as the Great Fear. The Great Fear was made by the being known as God. Yes, the God. He made the Great Fear to consume any planet with too much malice on him. Fortunately, Valvatorez is strong enough to take hits from him.
He's also strong enough to fight against it. Remember, this thing was strong enough to easily destroy the planet. Earth can take up around 17,000 nuclear warheads at once. This means he could be as strong as that many nuclear warheads. And that's just his base form. And by durability, he is durable. He tanked planet-destroying hits by the Great Fear, attacks from the Netherworld President, the ruler of Earth, Judge Nemo, able to go against the intergalactical console which controls the universe and its way of life. Despite shots from lasers, can be impaled multiple times, can be next to the sun like regular vampires, and even take blasts from a bioorganic weapon made to take over Earth as mere hits.
Valvatorez is smart when it comes to morals and fighting in general, but when it comes to everyday conversations, he can be pretty gullible. Like how he was convinced he didn't exist by a high school girl who denied being dead, and convinced him all of life right now was just her dream. But after a short while, he figured out how he was being lied to. He can also be easily tricked by Warden Axel, which is one of the weakest and most coward-like characters in the game. Valvatorez was tricked that he died multiple times and tricked him to believing that they were allies.
But the best thing he has is his 3 ultimate attacks. These attacks you get based on how strong you made this character. The first move you have with Valvatorez is called the Impaler Prince, which makes them turn into an army of bats attacking his enemy into the sky, then turn into a giant set of vampire teeth, chewing down onto his enemies. Doing this, he can slowly drain his enemy's life a little and regain a little of his own. Second one he has is the Bloody Hole, which makes him summon a miniature black hole that sucks nearby enemies, bringing them into a dark world.
And his strongest ultimate is called Tyrant Flung Hood, which lets him transform into a mighty dragon, causing invulnerability to fight and can even disintegrate monsters in giants' bodies with a simple roar. He can also destroy rocks with it, but it takes a lot of mana to use.
But he also has armor and weapons in his vast arsenal, but with role-playing games, he can only have 1 weapon and 3 pieces of armor at a time. And these 3 are what we found to be the best ones he has. He has 2 blood rings, which increases his defense and resistance and attack power immensely. And he holds the Imperial Cloak, while mostly just made to increase his defense. Then he holds the Dragon Blade, which increases his speed and attack for quick strikes and easily taking out his opponents.
He has some amazing feats. As previously mentioned, he defeated the Great Fear, again created by God, and had the strength to destroy Earth. He overthrew the Neverworld government and defeated its 63rd president. He can also defeat the A-Virus. The A-Virus is a disease in the game where anyone affected by it will turn into a Warden Axle. Valvatorez was able to resist it by sheer willpower alone. Even though the cure was offered to him, he didn't take it, so unfortunately he still has a virus in him, but fortunately it can't affect him. He tanked blasts from bioweapons made to take over Earth. As if it wasn't already obvious, he's different from other vampires. You see, our world's vampires and the vampires from Disgaea follow different rules. He can enter churches, he can enter houses without being welcome, he can be in the sun at any time, and he can handle holy things since he's been attacked and damaged by angels and holy weapons and lived. He fought and defeated aliens and cyborgs and took on plasma-type weapons head-on, and has been shown to even be on the moon without any protection. Finally, he can live off sardine blood instead of human blood, giving him half his full strength. Okay, what kind of guy has a resume this long? How is he this powerful? Does he have like a special diet or something?
Well, you might not believe me, but Valvatorez has a secret to his own powers, and in his own words, they are...
What? You serious? You're telling me that fish, specifically sardines, are the source of his awesome power?
Well, to him, yes. In the game, it is saying that it's the second best solution to human blood. He said that anyone who does it can become incredibly strong.
Alrighty then, we'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to the fish market. Come on, Demon.
Say what now? What?
Let's go.
Go, we have a show. Well, we're back with a supply of sardines that are even sardines.
Hey, it's not my fault the chicken was on sale today. Okay, now let's finish Valvatorez.
As we were saying before we even left, he also has many weaknesses. He keeps his promise from anyone, even from his own enemies at times, and even keep him to his grave. Some of these promises even handicapped him in the game, like this one where he doesn't drink human blood promise. He's incredibly gullible at worst times in the game, and by the worst of people. And he was one of the people who will lose MP or magic points the fastest in a fight.
Who cares about those two weaknesses when you have the power of a god-made weapon? Valvatorez is still one of the most powerful characters in the Disgaea world.
Tyrant, huh? Oh, there was a time when I was cold. However, now I am known as Grinny Instructor Valvatorez.
My lord, you didn't have to tell them that.
Okay, now let's go back to a simpler time. A time when fear meant something. When you feared the unknown, and the monsters of the night roamed and ruled, controlled by the harsh monster known as Dracula. But he was soon defeated by the hero known as Simon Belmont. But after that, we were introduced to his son. The son of the King of Darkness, and the famous vampire hunter himself from Castlevania, Alucard.
Alucard made his first appearance as a supporting character in the game Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, but because of how popular he became, he was made into a protagonist in the Castlevania game Symphony of the Night. Due to his mother Lisa's death by being burned on a cross for having a vampire son, man, you can get executed for anything apparently, he became angry at humanity. But because of his mom, he grew up to not hate them instead, and drew arms against his father, and worked alongside the Belmont clan of all people to defeat him.
But then the game developers decided to change his story and character in Castlevania Lord of the Shadows Mirror of Fate as being actually known as Trevor Belmont, a guy who was transformed into a vampire after his death by his own father Dracula. We guess you have to talk about his backstory, so let's get to everything else. He has superhuman abilities. He has superhuman durability, being able to survive lightning strikes and hellfire attacks without his own armor on. He has mild regeneration, meaning he can reattach certain body parts like eyes and noses and ears. He has superhuman speed, which can let him strike 35 times in a mere second, and has supersonic travel speed and lifting speed of a class 10 fighter.
Not to count his amazing morph and gaming abilities. He has the wolf morph, letting him turn into a wolf, increasing his speed and granting him the wolf charge ability. His bat morph lets him turn into a bat, letting him have flight and winged smash. He also has the mist ability, making him a dangerous mist, being indestructible, able to poison his enemies. He has a triple jump, making Luigi look like a pushover, and such a jump makes Alucard go 3 times higher thanks to his gravity boots and lever stones. And he's immune to holy-like weapons and water, unlike normal vampires.
And he has a shitload of weapons, and by a shitload, we actually mean a fucking lot of weapons. He has the Alucard sword, which can let him teleport behind his enemies and attack repeatedly. The Alucard shield is which when he equipped with the Alucard mail and Alucard sword, his power increased. The Alucard mail is reducing the chance of getting flinched when during an attack. His Twilight Cloak, where he gets fire, ice, and dark powers in, is 100 HP points. His Dragon Helmet, which is able to frighten enemies and lower their defenses.
He has the Alucard Spear, which shoots lasers, and he has pieces of Vlad with him, like the ring, tooth, heart, rib, and the eye of Vlad. The Marasma Blade, which lets him drain human blood like a vampire. Even though I love these weapons, so many beautiful ways to kill, we're unfortunately on a time limit, so we will be using mainly these.
He has amazing feats. He has taken down the leaders of Dracula's forces. He has gotten over the wiles of the succubus, which are known for seducing and controlling men. He has taken down the great entity of death itself. He defeated the great Orlok, or better known as Nosferatu. Man, I didn't know this got into this series. And defeated the Galamoth, which has taken down even the whole Dracula's army for his own control. He went through his father's regular castle and an insane infested castle too. He also slayed his own father, which is the Prince of Darkness, twice! Twice!
But he does have a few weaknesses in the game. He has shown to have one of the worst long-range weapons ever, not to mention Alucard is cocky and thinks he's the greatest, and he has been shown that he can indeed be defeated and must follow the laws of vampires, like only being around at night and needing human blood to be fully powerful and sleeps in a coffin.
Well, who cares? He has shown time and time again he will do what he needs to do to defeat his father one way or another. There's a reason he's known as the Vampire Hunter.
Cue fight scene.
Okay, these combatants are set. Now let's settle this debate once and for all. It's time for these two fictional characters to collide.
I guess this random castle will suffice. What in God's name was that?
What would you hope to achieve by invading my castle?
I'm sorry, man. They told me to do it.
Unacceptable.
Ow!
I'm guessing you're the fine owner of this castle, then.
In fact, I am. And just like those guys, you are invading it.
Then I guess we do battle, then.
Indeed.
Fight.
Blast.
Fireball.
I don't think so. Ha, is that all? I was kind of expecting a challenge. How did you...
It looks like this will be a short match indeed.
I am not humid.
Get lost.
Well, he's definitely a strong opponent. Oi!
Ha ha ha. Is he gone?
I think so, dude!
Goomba! I seriously hate you guys.
Hell, dude!
Goomba!
What?
Black hole!
What? Oh! Oh! Ah! Ah!
Die!
No!
I must make haste.
You have been poisoned by my mist form. I shall watch as it slowly kills you.
Poison, eh? Well, I got the perfect solution for that. Sardines! Yes, this is a lovely
You have
sardine.
got to be kidding me.
Yes, sardines are amazing.
Are you done yet?
Ah, no poison can ever handle the power of a fresh sardine. Ready to finish this?
Indeed.
Think again.
Prepare to die.
Don't count me out just yet. Come, demons, follow my order and present your vile soul.
Oh! Oh!
Well then, thank you in advance for my new castle.
Well, here comes the hate from the Castlevania fanbase.
Well, let's explain why Valvatorez wins this fight. Yes, Alucard had the advantage in weaponry and magical attacks, but that's not something new to Valvatorez. Most part of the game he's been is being outgunned and outnumbered, so he has learned how to handle people with that kind of advantage. And he has shown to be much more durable as well. He survived a powerful being known as the Great Fear, which has the firepower to destroy the Earth with ease, and the Great Fear was created by God in that game to do it. And Valvatorez did it in his weakened state. Yes, he had help, but he just defeated his allies who did help him before and shown to be the most powerful and most destructive in the group.
Hey, even Alucard's morphs couldn't keep up with him, since he has faced bigger things like fusion monsters and Goliaths. He even fought aliens, cyborgs, and behemoths with mechanical plasma cannons on their arms. And in the mist form, he's not gonna get much help either. Like we said, he has shaken off diseases before, like a virus, which was still in him the whole time during the game and hasn't affected him since his pure willpower prevents the disease's effects. Also, the Tyrant Flunghood is known to be invincible and can disintegrate monster bodies with a simple roar. Alucard, no matter what he has on, isn't going to get past that much power.
It seems the Vampire Hunter finally got hunted.
The winner is Valvatorez.
Next time on Fictional Characters Collide.
They masquerade as dragons, but are mere toothless worms. I know you can feel it. It is the end of all things. Elder gods. Finish him! Flawless victory.